Hello and welcome back to another edition. No, we're not having this yet. It's not the real thing. Alright lads, welcome back to another video. This one is obviously going to be kind of following the games that are going to be happening this weekend in the Scottish Premiership. Of course, Scottish football made a comeback last weekend. Didn't do any videos on them, unfortunately. I just didn't really know how to bring it back in video format and for me to be comfortable doing it. And now that there's been a week of games, there's other things to talk about, etc, etc. So I will now bring out content for the rest of the Scottish Premiership games until my league, the Scottish Championship, comes back, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get into games. But first off, we'll look at the games that happened last week, and the first fixture was of course Aberdeen 0, Rangers 1. Rangers coming out comfortable victors in this one. Aberdeen barely laying a glove the full match on Rangers, and Derek McInnes's side really looking a bit, if I'm being quite honest. Didn't really rate them at all in the game, and I stand by my statement that I think that they'll finish 5th this season. I just think they'll be really lacklustre throughout the full season. Rangers, on the other hand, performed really well and good start to the season, getting a win at Pittodrie. No fans, obviously, so it's a bit of a different scenario, of course, but getting 3 points there, it's important for them and a good wee statement for them to put out. Next fixture, Hibs 2, Kilmarnock 1. Your man Kevin Nisbet got an assist here, with Martin Boyle getting 2 goals, and this actually helped my fantasy team quite a wee bit. And so did the Rangers game actually, because I swapped out Aberdeen players the night before the game in favour of Rangers defenders, and it got me extra points. And again, as I said, this one got me fantasy football points as well, because Scott Allen got an assist, Kevin Nisbet got an assist, so added wee points for me there. In terms of the game itself, good one for Hibs. You'd expect Kilmarnock and Hibs to be vying for the same sort of positions throughout the season, so a really good win for them to start off the season with. Next up is, funnily enough, the game that I watched as pay-per-view last weekend. Went on St Mirren TV and purchased their pay-per-view game against Livingston. Obviously, only the 1 goal, and it came from their new signing Richard Tate. A diving header in the middle of the box. It didn't do my fantasy team too well this time because I had Robbie McCrory in goals, the Livingston keeper. So St Mirren here, good result. As again, it's another one that even though Livingston were obviously in the top 6 last season, you would expect these two teams to be looking at the same sort of positions in the league. St Mirren obviously trying to be a bit optimistic and go for a top 6 finish this season, according to Tony Fitzpatrick, their CEO or whatever he is. Then, next up, Dundee United versus St Johnstone, a 1-1 draw. I actually predicted this in one of the wee prediction leagues that I'm in throughout social media. I predicted Dundee United 1, St Johnstone 1, and it did come to fruition. I just didn't really think it was going to be much of a spectacle of a game, and I just thought the two teams would kind of match each other out, and they end up doing that in the end. Of course, your man, Nicky Clark, got the penalty goal, and Liam Craig got on the score sheet for St Johnstone in what was a really poor piece of defending for Connolly at the back for United. Celtic versus Hamilton, a 5-1 drubbing. And to be fair to Hamilton, they did perform well in the first half. Obviously, this man, Odsonne Edouard, getting a hat-trick, did my fantasy team good once again, as I had him as my captain. I didn't triple captain him though, so I've lost out a wee bit there, but he got me decent enough points anyway, so I'll thank him for that. And obviously Celtic coming out 5-1 winners, you'd kind of expect that for this sort of fixture. As I said, Hamilton did well in the first half but faded away in the second. And then the final fixture was indeed the shock of the opening weekend, of course, with Ross County getting a 1-0 win over Motherwell. Obviously Motherwell being the 3rd best team in the country last season, finishing in 3rd place of course, and Ross County always been kind of down the bottom end of the league, but they got the win here. Ross Stewart scoring a penalty kick, and I watched the game. It was a pretty poor spectacle overall, but Ross County did provide more than Motherwell, I believe, and deserved their 3 points, so a good 3 points for them. They'll be hoping that they can carry that on into this week's fixtures. And this week's fixtures do indeed look a bit like this. Obviously, Aberdeen versus St Johnstone, due to the whole issue with Aberdeen players going out into a pub after the Rangers game and spreading the deadly virus around. Their game versus St Johnstone has now been postponed, and it has brought the Scottish football game into disrepute. Nicola Sturgeon raging at the Dandy Dons. Not a good look for Aberdeen, certainly very unprofessional for the players involved, breaking the protocol and, as I said, just bringing the full Scottish football name into disrepute. There's 3 left on Saturday, with Hamilton taking on Ross County, Livingston taking on Hibernian, and Motherwell taking on Dundee United. And then on Sunday, Kilmarnock versus Celtic and Rangers versus St Mirren. Now today, obviously, that would have been the game on Sky Sports that I would have been watching, but I am now not. So the only game that I'll be watching on Saturday today, as you're seeing in this video, is Motherwell versus Dundee United on the pay-per-view on Motherwell's website. Now, obviously, yes, I'm watching Dundee United play a game of football, but are you really telling me that I'm going to pay 20 quid to watch Livingston's or watch Hamilton versus Ross County by choice? I'm sorry, I'm all behind Scottish football, but that is clearly the best game of today that's left to view. So, let's get over and get this game watched. So lads, here's the setup today. Laptop setup, HDMI into the telly, and there we have the Motherwell TV footage of this game. As I've mentioned, yes, it is indeed a Dundee United game, but it's the best game on offer of the day. I didn't think anyone can really deny me that. Looking forward to it. I've seen the lineups. Nicky Clark no starting, Shanklin nowhere to be seen. But an interesting one. We'll see how it all goes. I'm going to predict wait, I'll see what I predicted it in my wee prediction league. Motherwell 1, Dundee United 1, as you can see just there. So that's all I've went for. Another draw for Dundee United, of course, and it'll be Motherwell's first point of the season if it goes my way in my predictions. So we'll wait and see how that one goes. In terms of my fantasy team, you can see it right there. Roy McCrory in net, Goldson, Ayer, Gallagher, Barisic in defence, El Younussi, Scott Allen, and Yanis Hadji in the middle of the park, and Edward, Nisbet and Long. Scott Allen, I think he's on the bench for Hibs, so bit of a downer for me that. Obviously, the Rangers and Celtic players playing tomorrow. I assume they will get me points eventually, but as far as I'm aware of the day, all the players that I've got picked are playing, except for Scott Allen, who's on the bench. As you can see on the screen, just up there, the players are about to come out the tunnel. That's the Dundee United players coming out of the away end tunnel, because obviously coronavirus, etc. means they have to be in a changing room elsewhere in the ground. And there's the Motherwell team coming out, and we're basically a minute till kick-off, and as you can hear with the TV volume, there is no sound at the moment. And we're not the only ones experiencing these problems, because as you can see via the Motherwell latest tweet, there's people complaining about the exact same thing. Now I know this is all new, but we've literally got zero audio here. Surely someone has heard about this issue. Well, we're about to kick off here. You would never know. And we're off. Still with zero audio. Brilliant. 10-minute update. Motherwell still tweeting out stuff, but no recollection to the lack of sound that is still on display on the stream. Still 0-0 though. It's not been a rip-roaring game.
I'm really pleased with it. This great coverage. Let's have a look at Motherwell's Twitter page to see if they've bothered in their arm.
They've not tweeted since that last tweet.
No, Motherwell have got their money and they're no kidding. Get it up, he's. Get it up, he's. Especially that wee 1885 Ben character.
Get it up him.
See what he thinks. He's just a Dundee United fan anyway.
So here we are, 22 minutes in, and Motherwell updating us with, we're aware some of you are experiencing difficulties with the sound on our live stream. Our providers are currently working on the issue.
Some of you?
Aye, some of you. Basically everybody. One thing I'm going to try is, someone said that it's working on the away stream on Twitter. So let's see. Away team video. Ah! So the home team video isn't getting it, but the away team video is. There we go, sorted. Thank you to Andy Dalgleish on Twitter for that suggestion.
Thanks to Motherwell FC for nothing.
I have been updated that Kevin Nisbet has scored his first goal for Hibernian. Come on! Then the fantasy team, a world of good as well. There he is, Kevin Nisbet. 8 points. Nisbet with 5. Long with 1. Gallagher with 1. McCrory with 1. Doing fantastic so far. And only Kev getting his first goal for Hibs. First of many. 35 minutes in, virtually nothing has happened. I've been reliably informed Kevin Nisbet has scored again for Hibs. Come on. Update my points on Fantasy Scotland, please. 12 points for our Kev. What a man. Although it seems like Roy McCrory's on -1 again. He must have conceded a goal. I just realised that I didn't even notice that obviously if Nisbet's scoring, the Livingston goalie is going to lose points because they're playing Livingston. How thick am I going to get? I'm not even noticing the wee things in life. And there is half time. You've got to say Dundee United have been very poor. Motherwell pretty much just as poor. It's just been a poor game overall. More excitement within having the lack of audio and other games around the country. Just not a very good half. Let's hope for better in the second half. Let's hope for at least one goal to warrant the amount of money that we're spending watching this garbage game. Bring one change to the Motherwell team. Tony Watt is on for Motherwell and we're about to kick off. There we go. Buzz it! Come on! Bring on the action! Bring on the action! Come on!
Come on! Anything up! Go! Oh, is that going?
Oh, that was close too. Could have been 1-0 United. Very close for Butcher there. Corner for Dundee United and Butcher almost got his head onto it enough to put it in the back of the net. Oh! It's a goal! It's a goal United. Mark Reynolds. Well, it has been a pretty dire game. Pretty average stuff to be fair. Good ball for the young boy Bolton, the guy that's on loan for Man City. And actually quite a nice finish for Mark Reynolds there. Right into the roof of the net. The goalie's got no chance of getting that. If they can get 3 points here, they'll class that as a good start to the season. And Motherwell, well, on the other hand, terrible start. 0 points to 6 as it stands just now. Oh! There's a very close chance of Dundee United there, as you saw on the camera. It's actually worked out alright for Dundee United here. They've only just put on Nicky Clark as a striker. Dylan Powers obviously just had that shot there that cannoned off the bar. But they're 1-0 up. They're heading for an undefeated start to the Premiership campaign. They really can't be fussed about this. Just that away kit. It's no good look. And there it is, full time. Motherwell 0, Dundee United 1. Now there's no doubt that it was not a spectacle. I was really looking forward to the game. I thought it was going to be, as I said, the best game of the day. It turned out that that was at Livingston, where there was 4 goals on display and Kevin Nisbet getting 2 of them. And an assist, by the way. What a man Kev is, eh? However, the only goal here was 1 goal for Mark Reynolds. Just wasn't a great game. Motherwell really poor and yet to really show up this season. Losing both their first 2 games. Dundee United undefeated, 1 draw and 1 win. Hopefully, whatever game we choose to watch next week is a bit better than this, because it really wasn't up to standard today.
A message to Livy. We would probably have picked the Livy Hibs game today to see Kevin Nisbet, but there was no way
20 quid.
20 quid. We actually wanted to watch Hibs today, but we're no paying 20 quid.
I'm seeing it up there, it's finished 4-1. But anyway, that's it for this video. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a like, comment down below your thoughts on the games, the results, all that's went on in Scottish football today, and subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers guys.